Hi there, so today I'm going to show you how to do the granny chevron stitch. And that pattern looks like this. So I'm in the process of doing this one right now. And so the chevron part is this first triangle, or like just any triangle. And so the point of chevron is right here. So the point itself is what we call the point of chevron. And so once we've completed one chevron, that is just the one. And so the granny part just basically, when you do a granny square, it'll just have the sets of 3 double crochets. So I'm going to teach you how to do these. So as you can tell here, I'm in the process of doing my 4th row, so 4th row is on the other side. So just 1, 2, 3. And so depending on how big you want your triangle to be, you're gonna have as many stitches according to that. So I want mine a little bit smaller. So I only have the 1, 3 double crochets. If you wanted to, you would add extra stitches to the bottom according to how many you want in between. So since I wanted mine to be a little bit smaller, I did 15 stitches per chevron. So if you wanted to do 2 in between here, it would be 27. So we're gonna start with just the 15. So I'm gonna show you with this. So we're gonna do just the 15 stitches per chevron. So we're going to start by knotting for the beginning. So I'm just going to do a smaller version. So I'm going to do 3 chevrons for you. So if I want 3 chevrons, then we're going to do 45 stitches. So we're just going to count 45 stitches. Okay, so now we have our 45 stitches. So here's our chain of 45. And for the hook, I am using a 6mm one. Depending on how big you want the spacing for all of these, or how long you want these, you'll go bigger, or if you want them smaller, you will go with a smaller hook. I'm just liking the 6 right now. It's a nice petite little size that I like. It's not too big. And so that's what I'm going to show you with, but that one is up to you. Okay, so depending on if you're going longer or not, the pattern will be the same. You're just going to continue from what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to go into the 3rd chain from the hook. So we're going to skip these 2, so 1, 2, and we're going to go into the 3rd. So we're going to go yarn over, and we're going to go straight into there, yarn over, and pull through. So we're going to do a double crochet cluster. If we're doing a cluster, so that way we're just doing the 1 stitch, so that when you go back around for the 2nd time, you're just going to have the 1 stitch here instead of 3, because these first 2 stitches that we're skipping is going to count as your first double crochet. And so we don't want the 3 stitches, we just want 1 stitch. So we're going to do a cluster, and so I'm just going to start this over again so that I can show you exactly what the cluster is. So we're going to go yarn over, again, 3rd chain from the hook. Going to go yarn over and pull through, and we're gonna go pull through the first two. And so for a double crochet, we would yarn over and pull through again. But since we don't want all those chains, we're gonna go yarn over again through the same chain, and we're gonna pull through again. Now we're gonna yarn over, pull through two again, and now you have these three on your hook. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through all three. So now it looks like you have 3 double crochets. These first 2 chains, which count as that, and then these 2. So we have the 3 double crochets but 1 chain, and so that's what we want. And then we're going to go, again, we're going to skip 2 chains and we're going to go into the third one. So we're going to go yarn over, through, yarn over, and now we're just going to do 3 double crochets. So we're just going to do the regular ones, pull through 2 and then pull through 2 again, yarn over through that exact same hole. So right where you made the 1, you're going to go straight through there again, pull through, I'm going to go through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And so you're going to make 3 of those within that same stitch. Okay, and so since we're doing 15, we're doing what we have here. Let me show you the right way. So we only want the 1. So the first one and then this one. So this is your corner of the bottom. So this one will be your bottom here. And so this is going to be your middle. And now we're going to do the point of chevron, the top point there. So again, we're going to skip 2 stitches. We're going to go yarn over and through the third one. And we're going to do the same thing we did before, 3 double crochets into that same hole. Now we're going to do 3 of those. And so once you have those 3 double crochets, now we're going to chain 2. And now into this same chain where you have these 3, you're going to do another 3 so that it creates your point there. So I'm just going to make 3 more double crochets. All right, so now we have our first point of chevron. And so now we're going to go back down. So we're going to do the same thing we did on the first side, where we're going to skip the first 2 stitches and we're going to go into the third one. And again, we're going to do 3 double crochets into that 1 stitch. All right, so now we're going to create our first bottom point. So to do that, we're going to do another double crochet cluster of 2. So we're going to skip these first 2 chains again, and we're going to go into this third one here. So we're going to yarn over, go through the third hole, and we're going to again pull through the first 2. So we're going to yarn over, go through, pull, and we're going to pull through the first 2. Now we have 2 on our hook. We're going to yarn over, go through the same stitch, pull through, and pull through 2. Again, we're going to have these 3 on our hook, and now we're going to pull through all 3. So at the bottom, you only want these 2 double crochets, or this one crochet cluster of 2. And so now we're going to skip 2 again, and we're going to do the same thing into this third one here. So again, we're going to go through, pull through 2, yarn over, go through the same stitch, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. So now we have our first bottom point. So we have our first chevron now. So the first point is done. So now, since I did 45 stitches, I will have to do 2 more of those. So we're going to just continue doing exactly what we did. We're always going to skip 2 chains and go into the third one. So now we're going to again do the 3 double crochets. And since we have the 1, just like we have over here, now we're going to do the point again. So we're going to skip 2 and into the third one. And we're going to do 3 double crochets. Alright, and then we are again going to chain 2 and 3 double crochets into that same stitch, just like before. Alright, so now we have another point of chevron, and now we're going to do the same thing we did going down here again. So we're going to skip 2 chains, go into the third one, and make 3 double crochets again. I really like this pattern because it's so simple and so easy to learn. It's just double crochets and clusters, and once you get the hang of that, it is very straightforward. And so now we're going to do the clusters again like we did over here. And so we're going to yarn over, go through the third stitch, pull through 2, yarn over, through the same stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. Okay, so we're going to do that all the way to the end, and I'll meet you guys at the end. Okay, so now we're at the end, and so before we do this last one, instead of doing a cluster of 2 or a block of 3 double crochets, we're going to do a 3 double crochet cluster, which will basically go the same as the double, except we're going to add an extra one into it this time. So we're going to yarn over, and we're going to skip the 2 stitches and into the last stitch and pull through. We're going to pull through 2, yarn over again, go through the same stitch, pull through 2, 2, yarn over again, go through, pull through 2. So now, this time instead of having just the 3 on your hook, you're going to have 4. So now we're going to pull through all 4. So now you have the 3 double crochets. And so to start your second row, we're going to just turn it this. And the yarn I like to use for this is the Bernat Super Value. It works really well. It's really soft, and it makes it look super nice. It's very good for blankets, and if you want to use other yarn, that works too. It's basically just for your preference. This is just my preference, but you can do thinner yarn, thicker yarn, you'll just have to use a hook according to the yarn that you're using. Okay, I'm just grabbing more yarn. Okay, so now for the next row. So we're gonna turn it. Now we have our 3 clusters like this. And so we're going to, right through this first stitch that we made with these clusters, we're gonna go through, yarn over, pull through, and just pull straight through that chain that you had on your hook. So I'm going to show you that again, just to not be confusing. So we have this one chain. So once we turn, we're just going to go straight through that first stitch there, pull through, and just directly pull through it again. There we go. And then once we have that, now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That is again going to make our first double crochet. And so now we're going to again do the double crochet cluster, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through, and we're going through that same one as we did for the first chain there. So we're just going to, with that slip stitch there, we're going to pull through 2 again. We have these 3 chains on our hook, and now we're just going to pull through all 3 of them. And so now, between these 2 blocks of double crochets, we're going to also do that again, right in between here. We're just going to go right directly in there, and we're going to make 3 double crochets. So now we have the same thing as we had before. We have the first one, just like that, another one in between, and now we're at the point of chevron. So here, we're gonna again do 3 double crochets directly in here. And now we're again going to do the same thing as before. We're going to chain 2, and in this same hole from the 2 chains, we're going to make another 3 double crochets. Okay, now we have another point of chevron there. So again, in between these blocks of double crochets, we're going to do another 3 double crochets. And now we're at the bottom point where we have these 2 clusters. So we have the 3 double crochets here, but we have the 1 cluster on this side here. So right in between the first cluster here and this one of the block of 3 double crochets, we're going to do a cluster of 2 double crochets. So we're just going to yarn over, go straight directly in there, and we're going to again yarn through 2, yarn over, pull through, yarn through 2, and through all 3. So now we have that one there, and we're going to skip this point right here and go directly to the one where there's the block of 3 and the cluster. So we're going to do another cluster of 2 on that side. So we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and pull through all 3. And so you're just going to continue that till the end of the pattern. So depending on how long you are doing, how many stitches you have, you're just going to continue the pattern over to the end. Just at the end, just like we did on this end here, instead of a double crochet cluster or a block of 3 double crochets, we just at the end of it we're doing a cluster of 3 double crochets, and then when you turn it's the same thing over again, chain 3, double crochet cluster. And so when you come back to this corner, you're going to go into this 1 stitch. So there's only the 1 stitch here instead of the 3 for the 3 double crochets here. And so then once you end up at the clusters, you're just going to do the clusters on either side of them, but you're going to skip in between them. So that is going to give you your nice point. So it's going to give you that nice look of the triangle point right there. So yeah, just depending on how long you're going, you're just going to do this exact pattern throughout the whole thing. So I hope that makes sense to you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you in the next video.